Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of King of the List. Today is another opinion related video where I am going to be talking about my top 10 things in nature. My top 10 favorite natural things. This could range from forms of precipitation like snow to mountaintops to animals to basically anything that you can think of that people didn't create. So, in this top 10 video, I'm just going to be giving you the very basic summary, and I'm going to tell you probably what my favorite one of these things is that I ever saw. But let's just carry on, okay? So at number 10, we have caves. Caves are pretty cool, right? You have these deep, dark caverns where you can crawl into them. You can see the crystals or the gemstones that may be in there. You can see the really interesting formations in the stalagmites and the stalactites and all sorts of things. When I was younger, in class field trips, we would go to caves all the time, and I found them rather fascinating. But once you go through it once or twice, then it becomes kind of dull and boring and you're ready to see a new one. But I will say the first time you go to a new cave, it's always really cool. At number 9, we have thunderstorms. I think thunderstorms are pretty spectacular, which is kind of funny for me to say that because when I was younger, I was deathly terrified of thunderstorms. But I think thunderstorms are really cool. You have the rain, you have the loud rumbles of thunder and the big crackles of lightning, and everybody just kind of stays home when that happens. Nobody really wants to go outside, but sometimes I'll just like to watch it, and I'll know that when it's happening, everybody else is just quietly at home or at work or whatever. Nobody's doing anything crazy, it's just kind of peaceful, even though the world around us outside is anything but peaceful. At number 8, we have the beach. I love the beach. As you can see in many of the videos that I've done in the past, vlogs and whatnot, I have gone to the beach several times, and it is always a fun experience. The only downside to going to the beach is that usually the sun is beating down so much that I get sunburned. But the sand is amazing, the ocean is awesome, the water that's coming up onto the shore always feels really good, the seashells that are there, sometimes there's crabs. There's just so much to love about the beach. The list just goes on and on and on. And especially if you're on a beach where there's not as many people, it's even more enjoyable because you don't have to worry about people bumping into you left, right, and center. It's not very busy. At number 7, we have the forest or the woods. There's something just so calming, so satisfying about a forest. I can't really explain what it is, but if you were to just go for a walk through a trail in the woods, you would probably be at peace. It would be a lot of fun. It would be really simple, but really entertaining. The tall trees next to you, the noises of nature, the birds chirping and everything. Maybe there's water running by, whatever. It's a very pleasant experience. I have forest as number 7, not trees. Trees are not on this list because that's kind of simple. But I like the forest overall, having all the trees put together and just making it feel like this vast expansion of woods. I really like it. At number 6, we have rain. I like the rain. In fact, as I'm recording this right now, I'm looking out my window and it's raining. And it's very peaceful. It's very relaxing. Now, this might seem kind of like an odd explanation for this, but usually when it's raining, the world is not having fun. Everything is quiet, everything is calm, nobody wants to go outside, nobody's really having fun. But knowing that it's so quiet outside, I want to have a lot of fun when that happens, right? So oddly as it may seem, when it rains, I feel like you can have way more fun than when it's not raining almost. I really enjoy the rain for no really particular reason other than it just feels kind of nostalgic, I guess you could say. Number 5, the starry sky. Starry nighttime sky, nothing quite beats that. Take it if you were out in the countryside where there's no light pollution, and then you look up into the sky and there are just stars upon stars, and you couldn't even count them all, there's just so many. I've had a couple of experiences like that. I was in upstate New York at one point when that was the case, and there were just stars as far as the eye could see. I also got to experience this in the most recent vacation vlog that I did when we were in the Outer Banks, and I just got to kayak in the middle of the night and just look up and see the stars everywhere. It's always so relaxing, it's so beautiful, and I just love it. At number 4, we have snow. I love the winter. It might be my favorite season of the year, so long as we have a decent amount of snowfall. And similarly to rain, the snow is just a very relaxing thing. It's quiet. When it snows, the world is silent. Have you ever noticed that? When it snows outside, you don't hear a lot of noise from cars or trucks or construction. No, it's silent. Nobody's doing anything when it snows. It's always very calming. And there's so much you can do in the snow. You can make snow angels, snowmen, you can go sledding, snowball fights. You could just go for a walk in the snow. Whatever. You can do so many things with the snow. Not to mention when we were younger, snow days. One of the best things ever because it was basically like a surprise holiday. So snow is a lot of fun, and that is why it is at number 4. At number 3, we have rivers. Rivers are very fun. Maybe it's just because I'm a guy, but rivers, there's never not something to do at a river. If you go to a nearby river, you could throw rocks into the river for hours, just watching them make giant splashes. Try and skip stones. Maybe you'll look for fish. Maybe you'll go fishing in the river. Maybe you'll wade through the river and just walk through it. Maybe you'll go for a little swim in the river. Maybe you got your swimsuit on or something and you just want to dive in. Maybe you're going to look for cool rocks while you're in there. Maybe you're going to try and do something else. I don't know, whatever. Whatever you want to do. There are so many things that you can do with, in, and near a river. The rivers are always so cool. And if I had a river that went near our house, I don't think I would ever be anywhere other than that river. It's always so cool. At number 2, we have mountains. I love mountains so much. Mountain ranges, giant mountains, hiking up the mountains especially. I love to hike. And so hiking up the tallest mountains are always things that I enjoy. In fact, if I go hiking, I don't think it's worth it unless it has a solid lookout point near the top. When I can look out and see how far I've hiked up, that makes it worth it to me. And the coolest mountaintop experience that I ever had was in the Great Smoky Mountains. I hiked to one of the tallest mountains in that mountain range, and we got to look off across it. I think this might be a relatively similar picture right here, but I just gotta say, mountains are always so fascinating. And I would love to try and climb Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. But I know that's a significant jump from a local mountain to the tallest mountain in the world. But still, mountains always just look so cool. They're so much fun to be on top of, and even just to look up at when you're at the bottom. And at number 1, I've grouped 2 things in first because they're essentially the same thing. Sunrises and sunsets. I am kind of a sucker for sunsets and sunrises, and you probably know this if you've seen lots of my other videos. I have done 3 mini-movies, most of which resulted in a sunset at the very end, and I went to watch the sunrise in the Outer Banks, and that was probably one of the coolest things that I've ever done. Now you might say, you watched a sunrise on the beach, and you're saying that that's the coolest thing you've ever done? Chrome, you seem like a pretty lame person. Well, no, it was just such a calm, relaxing thing. There was not a care in the world. It was the first day of our long vacation. Nobody was around. It was very quiet, very peaceful, and I was just slowly watching as the sun was rising over the horizon. And probably one of the coolest experiences ever just because of that. So sunrises and sunsets are my favorite natural thing, my favorite things in nature, and what I would really like to know is what your favorite thing is in nature. Whether it be precipitation, or a landmark, or a mountain, or whatever. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite things are. And with that being said, I would like to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.